Hello guys, Olga today with you, and in this video I want to share with you what is life during the war in Ukraine. You can find so many videos in YouTube, also my videos as well, where we walk in Kiev streets or in other streets in Ukraine, and we are showing you, see, the life continues. There is supermarkets working, shopping malls, people shopping, restaurants open, there are some exhibitions and other things, and you can feel that yes, it's all going back to normal and so on. But in reality, not through the video, not even as a tourist. If you will come, you will really understand how much life changed for average Ukrainian and how the war sneaked to all kind of fields of life of the person. And in this video, I just want to show you a couple of examples, because discuss everything what you can discuss it all the day, I guess. But I will show you a couple of examples which I observed by myself and by talking with my friends, with my family members, which we experienced and we noticed. And just to give you better understanding how the still war is affecting the life in Ukraine. For sure, the most important things which changed so much in Ukraine, this is our currency fall so much. It dropped so much. So whatever money was worth, whatever worth your money was, now it is something like 20% less. Plus, many people lost their jobs. Plus, the things naturally became more expensive because, again, because of all these problems with supply. So you cannot buy a lot of things which was produced in Ukraine. Now you need to buy the things which is produced in Western Europe, deliver them to Ukraine. So you can imagine the cost is much more expensive and the currency is much less strong. So now any kind of things, whatever you want to buy, it costs huge money for average Ukrainian, while his salary didn't grow up at all, or his salary, or he actually doesn't have salary because he lost his job because of other economical problems and so on. So all these things, besides, see how nice restaurants is working, see people is happy, everybody is smiling. You need to understand that there is such things on behind, and such things is not disappearing anywhere. So to understand the official inflation in Ukraine, right now from the January to July is 18%, 18 just in 6 months. And for sure, once Russia having more fights on East Ukraine, and East Ukraine is big industrial region, which is bringing for Ukraine the most money, and it's the most valuable for economy actually. So since they're destroying more, and they for sure deliberately destroying it, they understand what they're doing. Since they're destroying more, then more and more inflation will be going higher and higher. Also nowadays, any business which is producing anything, they always rely on different kind of components which is included in their production for whatever they are producing. And very often also you can hear that these components was on the warehouses which got destroyed, regardless it was around Kiev, and I saw by myself so many warehouses destroyed, and I showed this in the video. Or it was on the east of Ukraine, which is also destroyed. And now so many producers, they're facing problems that they need to start searching for new ways of deliveries. They need to search where to store the things, or that one who was storing, they need to find another places where to store the things. That's why it delay production, it delay the whole economy, and you can understand it's related to salaries and to all kind of things, because the supply problems is big. Also, there was a lot of logistic parks which has a lot of transportation, which has a lot of transport, right, and trailers. And also I saw a couple of them by myself destroyed totally under Kiev. And I know that such situation is in so many places all over Ukraine. So simply it's not enough cars to deliver sometimes for some things. So it's not for everything, but sometimes you may find a way that it's not enough cars, not enough opportunities to deliver something in time, so the things is getting more delayed and more delayed. And again, it's all related one thing to another. So somebody didn't deliver in time, this one didn't deliver to his clients on time, and it all comes as a chain in general, making any kind of production more complicated. While the school year is starting soon, and I'm the mom of the school girl, and I have my friends who is moms of the school girls and boys also, who is gonna go this year first time to school or second year to school. And we discuss, and this problem for me is very visible, how the life for any person in Ukraine who is living very far from the front line on western part of Ukraine, in Kiev or anywhere else, which problems and which decisions they are making regarding taking their kids to school. So what's the situation actually? In Ukraine, schools wasn't working since the first day of invasion, since the end of February, and kids didn't study at school all this time. So it's already 6 months till now when the kids didn't study at school. They will study on distance, some of them for sure drop everything and run, especially the one who was going abroad or anywhere else or moving. It was very big gap, and the school year in Ukraine is finishing on May. It's not finishing on June or July like here in UK, for example. So it was actually only 3 months, and many kids at all dropped their education during that time. And we have, since May, we have vacation in Ukraine. So now the new school year starting, and government was discussing so much how they need to organize it for kids and how kids must continue their education, because it's a very big problem, and this is the basic needs of any kid in the world, to be educated. So our government make a decision that only schools who can provide for kids bomb shelters or some kind of safe shelter in case of air alarm, they will be allowed to be open and receive the kids. And all over Ukraine, if you will drop occupied territories, if you will drop the territories where is the active fights, so the front line, we also not counting them. If you will count all other some kind of peaceful area, only 48% of schools are allowed to receive the kids. So you can imagine it's less than half schools will not work, will work, because they have some kind of ability to receive the kids, and they have some kind of bomb shelters. So this percentage is different in different regions. So in Kiev, this is only 68% of schools are allowed to get kids. And in other cities, it's very different. Some were 40, some were 60, some were 70. Very depends, but yeah, it's not all schools. Now, what is the point from the mom's point of view? I know this because I'm always part of some kind of moms group on Facebook where they literally discuss. So I'm not reading it from media, I'm reading it exactly from the discussions from forums, and where people sharing exactly their opinions. So some moms saying that it's much better for kid to be at school than at home, because they consider this would be more safe. For other parents, they said that this would be just a big grave if the rocket will hit the school, and they know that Russians, they are targeting schools, they are targeting some kind of train stations and big buildings where there's a lot of civilians. And this is the target for them, and they don't want to let their kids go to school, and they prefer that they will study on distance. I was talking also with couple of my friends who is exactly bringing kids to school, and they have, once you are submitting your kid to school this year, you have option to choose if your kid will study on distance or he will be coming in person, and government is giving you this option. They don't force anybody to bring the kid in person if you don't feel comfortable. And my friend, she decided that, for example, she will bring the kid to school because she wants him to socialize, to have friends, and to study with a teacher, not with with computer or something. And at the same time, she said every time when there will be air alarm, she will be going from home to school, taking him from school to home, so he will not sit in the bomb shelter. And she said that so many parents of their class, they agreed to do the same. So many parents, they will be actually sitting somewhere around school at homes and just waiting. Once there is air alarm, they will run to school, take their kids back, and they will sit at home. And for sure, this is This is in West Ukraine, you know, West, which is considered super safe, but this is what they have. Another couple of my friends, their kids are going to kindergarten, so this is smaller kids. And in kindergarten, our kids going from morning to evening, and they usually sleep there, eat, and so on. While their parents is working, so this is why it is made. And they said we always bring kids only for first few hours in the morning, or we are not bringing there at all, because we don't want, once the kid fall asleep and there is alarm, the teacher must wake up this kid, and you can imagine how to wake up the kid even which is sleeping. He need to dress him fast, and he need to take him to the bomb shelter to sit there until alarm finished. So this is very hard choice for all parents all over the area. Why? Because, for example, you may say that they're not targeting these places, they're not targeting these places. If you are individual, it's up to you, and it's your responsibility. If you want to react on air alarm, or you want to don't bother yourself, and you will sit at home or keep walking in the park or in the restaurant, or do whatever you want, and you don't care. But if you are bringing your kid under the responsibility of government, school cannot be careless, or kindergarten cannot be careless. Every time when there is alarm, he must bring the kid to the bomb shelter. And the problem that alarms is 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. So most likely during one school day, for sure, the kids will go a couple of times to bomb shelter, or at least once in a time to bomb shelter. And if you will think that what if the missile really will be hitting the school, it takes, actually, they was talking that in Kharkiv, none of the schools will open, because from the Russian territories where they are firing rockets to the territory to the school, to Kharkiv, actually, it takes, they said, 40 seconds. So the rocket is reaching them in 40 seconds since it got fired. I guess to West Ukraine, it reaching something in 10 minutes. It is still very small time. It's very short time. And I'm thinking that our school has about 1,000 people, and now it also have even some kids left, and other kids from other territories come and take their places. So it still takes about 1,000 kids you need to bring to bomb shelter in a super short period of time, and keep them there for a known period of time as well. And this is what every kid anywhere in Ukraine will be experiencing since the 1st of September. So the war is not for, you know, it's already back to normal, everything fine, and everybody feels great. No, it will have a lot of problems, and it will make a lot of inconvenience, all the things, for any average person anywhere in Ukraine. And that was the example of the schools. Now let us move to other examples. For example, restoring and rebuilding Ukraine. Since Russia occupied the area around Ukraine, and they are sending rockets anywhere to Lviv region, to Vinnytsia region, to Ivano-Frankivsk, which is totally on the western part of Ukraine. I'm not talking about the areas which is under heavy bombing and heavy shelling. These people, and around Kiev also, this area which was occupied, they are heavily destroyed, and I showed you this also in the video. These people now need to restore their houses, their buildings with apartments, because, for example, there is a lot of apartment buildings which has, for example, roof destroyed, or they have some kind of main pillars destroyed or something, so the whole building can fall, even that apartment is livable and people don't have other options where to live. But they need to do something, they need to do renovation, they need to repair it on their own cost, of course, because even there is some cost from the government which they promise to repair, but they don't know when it will happen, and the people need to live right now, so they're repairing it by themselves. And there is problem with building materials also, because building materials which we used to bring to Ukraine, which was very popular, many of them was produced exactly on East Ukraine, and the plants already destroyed. So it's not that they are not working, even because of occupation or fights, they are destroyed, and it's already confirmed. Any kind of plants which used to make plasters, which used to make paints, which used to make different kind of decorative material, they're all destroyed. And Also, we used to supply many things from Turkey because it was relatively also cheaper, not expensive, I mean, compared to something supplied from Western Europe. And also now nothing is getting supplied because of ports are not working and they are blocked by Russia. So actually our shops need to find other suppliers from Western Europe, which is for sure would be much more expensive. It will take longer time to deliver the things. It will increase prices on everything and all the things which comes after that. Another big problem in Ukraine is with the steel. If you remember, for sure, most likely you hear about something called Azovstal. This is in Mariupol, where was our fighters. They was fighting to the end. And this Azovstal was producing most of the steel in Ukraine. And the steel is used for any kind of, if you want to build any kind of concrete things. So most of the buildings they built from concrete using a lot of steel and then the concrete frame, and then they just fill in the things with the bricks. Or if you want to build even bomb shelters or whatever, you need steel for everything actually, and the steel is not available. And we have some few smaller producers, but they cannot produce up to this huge level of steel which is required in Ukraine. So also our like guys searching for something in Western Europe, and to find this amount of steel and to bring it to Ukraine because our ports also are not working. It is very complicated, very expensive, taking time, so the things is also not available. And restoring any kind of warehouses which got destroyed, restoring any kind of big businesses which got destroyed, all the things even simply require a building materials, which is also, as you understand, not available, or there is a big problem in supply of these things and the prices. That is, guys, the things, how things is happening nowadays in Ukraine. Please write me in the comments if you know more examples, if you by yourself or you have relatives who facing something or that you're aware of some complications. Please share this also in the comments. I'm sure other people would love to read it and understand the situation also a bit from another side, not just from the nice side, how nice things, how lovely people is there, but to not forget that living under the war is very hard and it's not passing anybody. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.